Hey folks, this is Vic Noble. I'm the founder of our Coach's Corner Forex training service. For those that don't know, I started the service in 2006, and then for 5.5 years before starting the service, I was a futures broker. In 2017, my partner, Darko Ali, became our lead coach, and you know, his contributions to this service have been immeasurable. If you get a chance, take the time to listen to his podcast, and you just can't help but be impacted by his history and the trials and the tribulations that he went through, just the ups and downs, the incredible journey, the heartbreaking stories, everything on his way to becoming a very good, consistently profitable trader and extremely good price action reader. Darko is really the epitome of never giving up on your dreams, and we're so grateful to have him with us. Okay, I'm doing this podcast because I want to constantly inspire you to never give up on your dreams, just like Darko never gave up on his. And I hope that this story will help with that. I got an email on 5 days ago, September 17th, from a former Coach's Corner member who went through lots of training with me over the years, and who went on to finally, kind of get a grip on his trading business. That means coming up with a proper trading plan and sticking to it, which is very difficult to the vast majority, for the vast majority of traders to do. Okay, and you got to come up with that plan. You have to define it very well, have all the elements that are needed in a plan are contained within that plan, and so on. And this guy did that. After more than 10 years of struggling and jumping around, kind of like Darko's story actually, he has now doubled his account for the second time. Okay, the first time took him about 5 months, and this last time took 4 months, and which is pretty incredible. And he doesn't try to trade all the currency pairs either. In fact, he only trades 6 pairs, and that's it. Now, one thing I do need to say, this is really important, is that his account management is very, very aggressive, far more aggressive than I would ever recommend for our traders, especially when they're starting out. But again, this trading plan is his, and it's what he is comfortable doing. Right now, his account is relatively small, and I recommended to him that as his account keeps growing, that he lighten up on the amount of risk that he takes on with his account, because account preservation is everything. If you don't have that, you're done. In any event, it doesn't really matter. He didn't double his account twice by accident. He had lots of trades. He did it by following a very strict routine of trading, and that's the key point. Okay, you don't just get fluky for doubling your account twice. Well, you could, but that wasn't the case because he had a lot of trades that made up those results. He came up with a trading plan uniquely suitable to him, and most importantly, he's developed the discipline to stay with that plan. Okay, and that's just an incredibly key element to the whole thing. Like, he has a very specific setup that he needs to see. And when there's no setup, he doesn't trade, period. And that's the undoing of a lot of traders. It's difficult to sit on your hands. And as he told me in his email, he barely trades each week. Sometimes he might get 1 trade a week. And if it's a more active week, he might get like 3 trades in a week, but that's it. And here's something interesting that maybe will be helpful for you as well. Once he's in a trade, you know what he does? He plays video games. And the reason he does this is simply to keep his mind away from trading and looking at price going up and down, and to just let price do its thing and not get his emotions involved in the trade. Either it makes his target or it gets stopped out. It's pretty common. I think a lot of people, they get sort of caught up in looking at the pips going up and down, and they're looking at their dealing platform. Oh, I'm up 8 pips. Oh, I'm down 3 pips. Oh, now I'm up 15 pips. And it's just a terrible thing to do, really. I mean, either the trade's going to work or it's not. And if you have a plan mapped out for exactly where you want to take profit or that kind of thing, it makes everything so much easier. Your job then is to leave things alone. Okay. He also realized that he didn't need high accuracy to be profitable. And he wins, he sent me all of his results. He wins on 57% of his trades. You do not need to have a high win-loss ratio to make money. What you need to do, right, is understand your trading approach, and you need to trust that approach and that it gives you an edge. And understand that odds and probabilities are not certainties. They're odds and probabilities, right? They're just simply odds. That means that you're going to lose on some of your trades. Like, if you're a professional blackjack player or a professional, sports bettor, you're going to lose on some of your bets. That's fully expected. But you're also going to have some very nice payoffs on some of your bets. Okay? And the end result is that you're going to be profitable. I'm going to interject here and tell you a quick story, because this really underscores this whole idea about thinking that you have to have high accuracy. A friend of mine who is a very good trader once took, are you ready for this? 9 consecutive losses. 9. And then he had this huge win that more than wiped out all the losses and moved his account to new equity highs. One trade. And this guy, I'm honestly, he's a very, very good trader. And one of the things he is super good at is trade management. Trade management, you'll often hear Darko and I describe trade management as the holy grail of trading, and it really is. The losses that this guy took, those 9 losses, were very small. Almost always less than the original pip risk that he was taking. Sometimes the losses were only a few pips. But, count them as losses. There were losses nonetheless. Okay, but because of his strong personality profile and his rock-solid discipline, his unwavering belief in his approach, and his confidence that he would definitely get some very profitable trades, he never flinched. So, back to the guy who sent me the email. Again, 10 years later, he's finally seeing some amazing results. And my hope is that this podcast will underscore all of the things that Darko and I talk about all the time, especially the all-important concept of having a trading plan. Okay, and that trading plan is going to differ from one trader to the next. And obviously it's going to be because of differences in trading styles, differences in risk tolerances, differences in availability to trade, and on and on. There are all sorts of factors that go into a trading plan. And actually what I did is I laid out a sample plan for our members just so it gives them a template to work from. And of course they can then add or delete or change that plan in any way that is more suitable for them. But at least it gives them a starting point. The person that sent in this email also told me that he came to realize that there is no holy grail, and that everyone has to find their own niche. And that's so true. And I'm really glad that he came up with that conclusion, and that he sort of discovered that for himself. And because we can say it to everybody and all that, but until you walk the walk yourself, you don't really get it. I don't think. I think it's once you start to get into this game a little bit, and you come to realize that all of this stuff is really true, and you're actually living it. And as he said, he found his niche, and it's a 57% success rate, and he's very happy with that. And I'm just going to read you read out the last sentence of his email. It says, "I hope my story and trading plan can encourage more people not to give up on trading. It took me 10 plus years of time to settle." Okay, glad it finally worked out, he says, and that was the end of the quote. So I thought that was a great story, and I thought it'd be nice to pass that along. I'll just leave it at that. But again, I sure hope it was inspirational for you. And if you think that someone else might benefit from this podcast, we'd sure appreciate it if you just share it with anybody else that is into trading and having struggles and that kind of thing. And for those interested, I put a link to our services in the description of this podcast, so you can check them out if you wish. And don't hesitate to email me. If you have any specific questions about anything, about what we do or whatever, just send me an email. My email address is also in the description. Thank you all so much for listening in. Until next time, good health, happiness, and good trading to all of you. Thanks again. Take care.